Alright mate, how's your morning? It was like 6 degrees warmer last night than it is today. Ah, hey, madness. September 8th. Happy birthday, my friend. A great Polish brother. A real brother. So, happy birthday, Piotrek, my friend. I can't wait to spend some time with you. Another year older. Hopefully another year wiser. But you love this. Is Hollywood still in the go? I know it's been broken up into about 1,000 pieces, but all of these awards ceremonies, these famous good people, the Brad Pitts of this world, George Clooney's, the Predators. Where does their funding go? I don't have a bit of toilet paper left this morning. 2 weeks until the UK government will provide me with some cash fundage from you lovely people paying your taxes for the UK. Can't quite afford toilet paper or food today. 11 days until I receive my 250 plus pounds. I'm sure I've paid in tens of thousands of pounds. At very least, I know there's people out there working today, Monday morning. Half of your money's going to this predatorial government, incompetent bastards of a government abusing our kids. Incompetence is rewarded. Child abuse is rewarded. Violent women are rewarded. Effeminate men are rewarded. Every single religion is rewarded. Funny looking men in funny looking outfits talking nonsense. Might be walking down this street, not a bit of cotton to wipe my nose or backside, not a bit of food to fulfill my hunger. But none of that really bothers me. None of that really grinds me down. I mean, it's quite easy for any man in poverty or any woman in poverty to say these days, oh, I'm fasting. Oh, I'm just fasting. I've heard it's great for my body. But you can only fast when there's food to fast from. You can only hit a fast when you have food to fast from. And we've got such lovely people holidaying in this country in our 5-star and 4-star hotels. Lovely people. I'm sure they're not worried about food, about clothing, especially about wiping their backsides. They'll have a bidet. I don't have a bidet. In my council house, after the Royal Bank of Scotland stole my mortgage-free home, because my ex decided to lower any standards she had in abuse So I just want to take a wee second to say hi to all 3 or 4 people looking at lovely Barhead. Good morning. It's lovely to see you. Talking to myself. So it would be great. Where is this? This is Barhead, East Renfrewshire, Glasgow, Scotland. This is the town where my son and daughter in 2019, they were abducted by their mother. That was the 3rd abduction she had done from the UK, supported by the police, supported by female charity, even after she had been highlighted as a child abusing liar. And 10 years after their first abduction, 2019, my children were taken, they've been abused since then. But as I said at the beginning, the Hollywood type effeminate men and the violent, abusive women, that's exactly what we fund and support in society. Every single Western society, every single one bar none. Catholic Church is the one with its little chubby, fat, greasy fingers in every single pie. And every brotherhood and sisterhood here run by the Freemasons and Catholics and Protestants. All ran by the Catholic cult. All of them. Every one of them. People racing to school and racing to work, racing to something they do not respect, which means they lack respect for themselves. I like to see people putting a lot of effort into writing comments, and I do apologise that I can't read everything right now. We all have the same colour of blood. What's that? Such a Freemasonic thing to say. Oh, wow. Freemasons abuse kids, Catholics abuse kids, Jesuits abuse kids, every one of these sororities, fraternities abuse kids. Now the biggest trouble in our society is child abuse. The biggest trouble, what we hide the most in society is child abuse. Severe abuse. Now in Hollywood, when all of this come out, we were going to speak about and bring out and set to task those paedophiles throughout Hollywood, but we didn't. We turned it into a women's game. We turned it into women being hurt and abused and predators getting after women's toes and feet, but not about the children. We took away that part, the fact that we sexually, physically and mentally abuse children from childhood, and when they get to have to scrape their way through Hollywood, they're raped at childhood and become predatory rapists themselves in adults. So that's why they continually hide it, and all those nice little women, vicious child abusing predators like my ex and her mother. What they want, money comes first. Children never come first. The safety of children doesn't come at all first. We need to look after their kids, but we tend to pop them out in the street, fill their heads full of nonsense, and set them up to put themselves in front of predators. And they put themselves in front of predators because the mother these days, they aren't mothers. They're too busy sticking plastic in their face and looking after themselves. It's all about self-pleasure with a little effeminate man or women, especially those Hollywood women. Any one of you that are still into this Hollywood nonsense. My town is beautiful, but they've made it an absolute mess, the same as Renfrewshire, Paisley, same as all places down south. My lovely English brethren, Welsh and Irish, we're all been overrun underfunded, yet they can create money, and that money is taken from us. The money's taken from us to fund everything that's not for us. The predators don't put a penny of their cash into anything that we do. They would rather spend £10 of our money than £1 of their own. We know it's predators running every one of these Western civilizations. We know it's predatorial paedophiles running every single bit of it. We know that's who's in Hollywood. Child abusing parasites. That's why they're pushing Hollywood full of these dirty wee women now. Because we know dirty wee women sell themselves off to keep children in danger, and they play the victim. Like my ex, literally abusing children while she gets to play the victim, and the police will support her because there's charities that support her. Lots of people support an abusive woman, abusive mother. Looks like our locals have gone through the Salvation Army bin to actually put some clothes in themselves. Anyone want a Yves Saint Laurent bag? Now, that's absolute nonsense. This is what we do. I mean, a lot of this is brand new. Still get its tags. Now, this is women's clothes that have been dumpster dived. Dumpster diving this stuff. Little effeminate men jogging about in their expensive shoes. Ah, whatever happened. We've got lovely suntans though, but I can tell the difference between a suntan from the sun and a suntan from a sunbed. I really can tell the difference. Because I don't wear a sunbed suntan. But I can see lots of wee men, they're working the foundry and working our councils, clicking about in their high heels. God, we've turned our men into such little effeminate pussies, and we've turned our women into dragons that abuse kids. That's the biggest trouble. Oh no, your vaccine, all your male hormones go in the women and all the female hormones go in the boys. We don't want boys to become strong men, we want boys to become little effeminate ladies and join the Freemasons or the Catholic Church. Anyone, pick a flavour, just like crisps, all the same. Good morning. Now, there is nothing wrong with effeminate men that are fathers. There's nothing wrong with men that stick up for children, or women that stick up for children. But what's thrown in front of your face on, whether it's your social media, platforms that just make movies or copy movies, they split up MTV. I mean, you know, they've just split everything up. So lots of little families can make their money from their little Freemasonic witchcraft. That's what it is, witchcraft. And we've brought so many witches into this, and I mean the female witches. We've brought so many witches into this. And I know fathers out there, all they want to do is have a family and see their children and make sure their children are safe. Good mothers, they only want to know that their children are safe. They're not right into sticking Botox in between the corners of their eyes, the slits in their eyes, just above their lips, sticking one of the most hazardous things in their faces. Yeah, this is what my ex is kind of loved for. Oh look, you've got a lovely bouncy, soft skin that you can't smile with. Why don't we abuse your children and take away the father? And then the charities help. And then Please Scotland help. Please Scotland help the predator. Why? They're low paid predators. And I want well remunerated, or whatever that word is. Remunerated? Well paid police. I want well paid police. I want them to think. I want them to consider. And I want them to understand law. The legal jargon that they try and trap you with, the backwards English. We need to stop that nonsense, entrapping our own citizens while protecting illegal criminals. And they are criminals. Dirty, rotten criminals. And that's your government and mine are criminals. Child abusing parasites. Big business, that's who controls them. And that's what you think your government is. It's just big business. I'm going to take you up the centre. It's quite a good idea to come here for a wee minute. Check this car that's never locked. Never locked. That's how much we trust people in Scotland. That's how much we trust our neighbours, even if they're drug dealing thieves. They're not paedophile crackpots. It's drug dealing thieves we've got here. But they're allowed to deal drugs because they're part of the town's culture. The 307 culture. Good morning. I don't have a lot to say, other than I want to know my children. Other than that, you need to know, my name is Joe. I'm a father too. My children were abducted in 2019. This was after going through a Hague child abduction court case. It was the Hague 1980 child abduction court case, which proved quite clearly in front of 3 higher judges my ex-partner was a child abuser willing to use the worst lies given to her by a Scottish funded charity called Edinburgh Women's Aid. Now all of these charities are growing in the UK. They're called Women's Aid, and they'll just put in whatever town, Women's Aid. Now it's run by fanatical beasts who abuse and abduct and assault kids in every way. Physical, verbally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We're abusing children every single day. Up the Scottish, yes! Up everyone out there, really. Up every person, up every man and woman that's standing by their children and they're not raping, abusing, abducting, alienating or assaulting your children. Poland supports the abuse and ongoing isolation and alienation of children. Troax, a basic private company, tried to sue me in Poland as its staff members, and the manager threatened to assault me while I'm across there to try and see my children. So many things are going wrong right now in the UK, but it's not just the UK, it's not just Scotland. You can see in our streets people still stick by one another. But we're in poverty. I'm not a man that's incapable and can't work, but I'm a man that doesn't have any opportunity to work because it's all been taken away. The rug's been pulled from under my feet. The day I was called a rapist 10 years ago, 11 years ago by my ex-partner, the day I was called a rapist was the day I lost everything. I lost all reasonable work, I lost my entitlement to go and work, and I lost the chance to see my children. Even if I win, after years and years of losing my home, my property, my family, everything that meant anything to me, I was supposed to have won the court case and got time with my children. Anyone, feel free to write anything you like in these comments. You stick out yourself. The predators do stick out. We do have many, but more so we have loving, caring mothers and fathers in here. Now we know that there's such a small percentage of loving mothers, and we know that fathers are pretty much drunken drug addicts that have turned away from being good men. We don't need any more haters about here. We need the people that want to stand up for their country, stand up for their friends and family, their neighbours. We should be loving one another. There is a lot to love about this town. But when those that don't live here are coming in and they're having such a great comfortable life, and I can't get toilet paper to wipe my backside, and I can't wake up and see my damn son and daughter every day, something's very wrong with that. And the fact that no one's sticking up for fathers and the children, but we'll stick up for the abusive women. We won't just stick up for them, we'll highlight the violent abusive women. If there's any perpetrators within those vicious women, then we'll make sure that they abduct, abuse and alienate their own children. Because what we want is to create fear in every society, and that's what's happening right now. We're creating fear. Why are we creating fear? Because people are easier to control when they're living in fear. People are very simple to control when they're living in fear. Now, what do you fear? That's a very important question. Me, I fear God. I fear God and what God is going to do to these lying, abusive predators. Now, if that sounds funny to you, then more than likely we don't believe in the same thing. Now, deep down, someone said before, we all bleed blood and blood's the same. Shut up, you imbecile! The Freemasonic mode is we're all the same. We're all very, very same people. We're just the same. We all think the same, act the same. And no, we're not. We're all very different. I'm very different from these predators. I'm very different from any man that hurts a child. I'm very different from any woman that abducts a child. I'm very different from any woman that takes a payoff. I'm very different from any man that will take money and put his children in a dangerous position. I'm very different from anyone that wants instant gratification to get what they want, and they would sell out their only son and daughter. Now, we get to see this every single day. Businesses selling out, big businesses buying over government. Our government's run by incapable, illogical, irrational little rats. We know they're run by little rats, and we know that they've got their own gang protecting them. We call them the police, but some of those police men and women, they want to do what's right. They want to help people. They want to help the citizens. But we're seeing when these demonstrations are on, they're treated like dirt. Now, I went and seen a good friend, a friend that I don't know, but I consider him a good friend because I know he's a good father. And his name's Billboard Chris. Now, he was assaulted in London just the other day. And after the assault, which was recorded, you seen the guy throw the thing on his head. Doesn't matter what it is. It matters that he was assaulted and the police decided not to do a thing because he was a father and he was assaulted. The very same as when I was assaulted, the police will laugh at you. The one that's been assaulted, the victim, they'll laugh at you because you're never a victim. Only women can be a victim. Only abusive women can be victim, because I know women are abused, and they're abused by effeminate men. And those effeminate men are little Freemasonic or Catholic Freemasonic lowlives. What we need to be doing is protecting our children first and foremost. Now, if anyone out there wants to put their children first before their instant gratification, I want you to be hitting the like button, and I want you to be subscribing. Now, what I have noticed over the last few days, we do have 1 or 2 people coming on and subscribing. Woohoo! There's about 150 to 200 subscribers on this channel now. Now, that is just crazy. I don't have a single friend. I mean, I don't have anyone that will be walking across to me and going, Joe, here's some toilet paper for your back door. Have a little wipe, sir. I love you. No, I do have friends, but I don't really have anyone for me here. I've pushed everyone away, so I don't really mind if you think, he's pushing me away. He's hurt my feelings. I disagree with what he said. That's alright. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean I don't want you to hit the like button. I want to try and make sure we get as many of those like things. Lisa, that's smiley, love you so much, my friend. But if you're a mother and good mother, put down there that yes, I am a good mother. If you're a man and father and a good father, put down the comments, of course I love my son and daughter, I love my children. If you're a beast, leave it silent. And what you do, try and belittle the fathers working hard to have time with their children. Try and belittle any mother that works hard to give children time with their father. Now, I used to see a girl before I had children who had her own children, and she would always say that her ex-partner would never appear to see the kids. Now, she would drive for miles and take her children to the place where they had decided to meet the children, and he would never be there. I felt so sorry for the kids. And this man was more of a drug dealer and drug addict. And that is your effeminate man. But he's your man that's going to be killed or taken out early doors. He's not going to have a long life. The Freemasons know who they bring on board, and they use their people very well. The minions and the groundwork and the size of the network that they have to assault and abuse our societies, and I'm talking all Western societies, I mean, including all Asia and all, every single place. We have used Freemasons to abuse our children. We have used Freemasons and brought them in to gaslight you and gaslight mothers and fathers. Now, I've never seen it any more of a gaslit situation when a man is assaulted in London on the street in front of police and he's got it in camera and the person casually walks away as he's reporting it. This little effeminate man who attacked her father because the father doesn't want children to be abused. He doesn't want children to be taking puberty blockers. Children can't agree to taking puberty blockers unless children can agree to taking pints of whiskey or pints of vodka. But again, that is just a common way for men of common sense to think. I've seen so-called men, young and old, stick up for this violent abuse against children. Now luckily even Scotland, and it was Billboard Chris that manages to stop this. Billboard Chris managed to stop the abuse of our children in Scotland. We are still to this day abusing children in our schools. We're abusing children. If you will trust that policeman, if you will trust that council member, if you will trust that Freemason, that little person in the church, if you would trust them with your children and leave them with your children, and that's who's running your area, then you're living in a good area. I don't trust any women within our council is not trusted. They're violent, they're thieves, and when I say thieves, I mean there are people in this town who we use to run our councils, and also when they're given out, and I'm talking the assistance that we're supposed to receive as tax-paying citizens. I've earned lots of money in this place and had lots of jobs. Now I'm barred from working. I'm banned from working. I'm not allowed to work. If I'm given a job, they then tell me, I'm sorry, we don't take criminals on. And I do understand there are jobs for criminals out there, but I'm not one of them. Just because a woman called me this doesn't mean that I am, and I'm not going to wear that. The entirety of society here wants to brand me and thumb me down with that. It's not going to happen. I'm quite happy to face up and stand up for myself, as I hope that you are. As a strong mother and strong father, I hope that you're willing to stand up for yourself. Because if you're the one protecting your children, you're the person they need to go through. And if they can't get through you, your children's safe. Sorry. Viewer limit reached. Get more subscribers to get more viewers. I'm sorry, but I'm not allowed to have any more people watching me. It says that my viewer limit is reached, so more people will have to subscribe. I don't earn a penny from these ongoing rants when I decide to come on and fill in my Android phone and stare into this camera and know that there's people on the other end of it. Some want to kill me and some want to love me. Subscribers keep coming in. Thank you very much. You've just joined U-Pain in the ring. And for a man that doesn't have toilet paper, U-Pain in the ring is not the best name for this. I don't have that. Okay. I eat bad food. Sometimes I get the Duke of Argyle's, and I know every man and woman out there do get that. They get it from being stressed, they get it from bad diets, and they get it from dealing with what is going on in this crazy world. Our council buildings are filled with people giving out money to people that don't stay here. They're taking children away from this town and they're abducting them to other countries. That's what the police, the councils, the charities, the people who are funded to support you, they're taking you down. They're taking your family out and they're raping your kids and they're keeping them in silence. This is exactly what's happening in the UK. Doesn't matter how many fake great presidents with great ideas are going to come on board. They're actors. They're all actors. Not just actors, they're lying bastards as well. Sorry for the profanity. I don't take that as a profanity, but it gets to me when I feel that coming out, when I say that kind of stuff, it gets to me. Because I know what I'm afraid of. Ah, you idiot, you foolish man. I should have a job. I know there's businesses out there who would love a man like me to work for them. But I can train your staff. I guarantee if you've got a sales company, I can get your sales staff doing at least double what they're doing right now. because I would go in and do about 10 times what any of the salespeople were doing in sales companies. When I would walk in a sales company, I got the job that day because I could take the best salesperson, I could do 5 to 10 times what they would generally do. And within a month, the owners of the company would want to sack all of the sales team. And that's the wrong thing to do. And that's how every company owner works. They don't think long term. It keeps I understand. I'm not trying to bring. You have to subscribe. More people have to subscribe if you've to come on and watch this. I've reached my viewer limit. I don't know what that means. I don't earn money from YouTube or Google. I'll tell you straight about child abuse and the perverts, the con men in the Catholic cult. I'll tell you straight about the Freemasons, the Jesuits, all of these Eastern Star, the little Eastern Bloc child abusing lowlives. Our police are assisting the child abusing lowlives. Now, if you want to bring more people on, I know there's lots of great fathers and great mothers out there, and I would love you to do what I'm doing today. We don't make money from doing this thing where we're talking to people, but we get to fill people in with the predators that are running our area, with the downright disgraceful things happening with our councils. The fact that we are paying women, we're paying women and putting them in positions, and they're giving our funds to illegal immigrants. They're giving our funds to give clothes and food to the illegal immigrants while our citizens starve. Now, we need to continue opening these YouTube channels. I've had 5 of these YouTube channels shut down, talking about the rights of children and the rights of fathers, and fathers are parents too. 5 have been shut down. I want each one of you today to open up a child safety and parent safety awareness group on YouTube. Any one of you can do it. You don't need to make money. You don't need to have a lot to say. You don't need to have a fantastic dark hair. And look the part, and you definitely don't need to have a great vocabulary and lots of friends, because I don't have either of them. You don't even need a family that loves you. But the thing is, your family can't stop loving you. I'm sorry, I understand. I keep making mistakes. It's the same mistake. I love you too. I really do love you too. It's getting really bright in here. I want to start seeing some people, because I know there's more people coming on, and I'm not allowed to have more people on unless more people subscribe. I think it only gets to a certain stage. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm not good at YouTube. I use an old phone. Listen, I don't have toilet paper or money. I steal Wi-Fi off the council. I steal Wi-Fi off neighbours. I walk round the streets, and sometimes I've got £15 of a month to put in my phone. When I put that £15 in my phone, I can't afford food. You know, for a guy that smokes, for a guy that loves food, for a guy that likes to buy expensive oils. I'm not getting many of these things. But you don't hear many complaints about that. I've complained about not seeing my kids and not getting toilet paper. I've complained about not seeing my children and not having toilet paper. I don't think I complain an awful lot. You're invited to my home. Each and every one of you is invited to my home. It's a council house. There's 2 spare beds and 1 spare room, which the council charged me for, since the day my children were abducted and abused by the child abusing Polish women. I know there's effeminate child abusing men, and I know there's women out there who consider themselves mothers that never let fathers see their kids, and that's based on your own hatred. How can we do this? From someone we said we loved, have kids with, and then stop the children from seeing half of who they are. That's what my son and daughter are doing. They've been stopped. I'll do off with you. I've not had a girlfriend or friend since 2019, since she left me. I've been out on 2 dates. I've been on 2 dates in 6 years. And both those dates I got a kiss and a cuddle. Oh no, one of those dates I got a kiss and a cuddle. But it's not the kiss and cuddle I want. I want to hold and kiss and cuddle my children and tell them I miss them so much and love them every day. It's been years. They're young. They deserve to know you as you lovely people out there. They deserve to get to know you as much as they deserve to get to know me. Because that's pretty much how things are. You would have the opportunity to see my children today. In Poland, if you're in Gorzów, you'll have that opportunity. If I'm in Gorzów, I will be hunted, handcuffed, and thrown in a dungeon, held as a terrorist. That's what they done last time. Sorry, man. I drop this so often, this phone. Eva, Matthew, Gorchin and Gorzów Wielkopolski, Jana Pawla II, and all of the people in that area that go to that church. Children deserve to have time with both safe, loving parents. Poland, that right now you're stopping this. There's so many mothers and fathers actually come on here today that will be making up their own channels for the rights and safety of parents and children. They will be making anti-parental alienation and putting the details up online. People do love and care for their children, not just theirs, but they do love and care in that correct and loving manner that we all have deep down inside us. September 13, Sausage Day. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for putting so many messages up. I'm sorry I've not read so many out. There is so many thumbs up. There is a lot of support for fathers and parents out there. There's so much support for children, but I would love that to start going mainstream. The support that we normally get, shadow banned. At the very best, our support is shadow banned. But I've loved talking to you this morning. I know I've not been looking at the comments too often, but down there's so much hate. But I see the love. Your subconsciousness picks up on every single thing that's coming on, and you know that. You know the subconsciousness is picking up on things. That's why they'll put a set of breasts through those children's TV shows. That's why they'll stick a couple of flicking images of people having sex through any movie. They'll stick up subliminal advertising of food and drinks and fast food, and you'll wonder why you felt horny or felt hungry or felt thirsty. This is what we can do with propaganda in the media. This is what we can do with YouTube. So we need to learn how to use it effectively for ourselves and for good loving parents, because there's many people that call themselves parents out there and they're predators. There's many women being funded as mothers and they're beasts. In Gorzów Wielkopolski, I could show you a town awash with predatory child abusers. This is where our government's hierarchy go to buy their drugs. We've seen them on the Polish train. We've seen the German Chancellor. We've seen the wee French, whatever that knob head is. And we see them. That's where you get your cocaine. That's where you get your marching powder if you're higher class or part of the government from the Polish. Now, men in Poland stand up for Poland. MPs in Poland stand up for everyone else. Men in Poland stand up for the Polish. The MPs in Poland stand up for everyone else. It's the same as this country. The Polish are keeping Poland strong, and I love Poland for that. I love because every day it might sound that I've got bad blood with Poland, and it's not. It's with your governments. It's with the parasites and the child abusers. It's the parasites and the child abusers being funded to abuse and assault children and assault family values in every single way. And I know there's great family people here. I know there's great people here, men and women, fathers and mothers, and they're not these predators. They're not the hierarchical, predatory, low-life scumbags, part of these Catholic churches and Freemasonic and the Jesuit order and Eastern Star Freemasonic cult. We can stand together as parents. We don't need another title. We don't need to be part of any other group. I love being a father, but I hate not getting to see my son and daughter because of a child abusing woman that's funded with support from charity in my country of Scotland. If you're in the country of Scotland, your charities fund child abuse. Your charities fund child abuse. Your charities make children live in fear. In the UK, your children are living in fear. I just seen haggis there. I like haggis too. Whatever it is, whatever's in there. But right now, we're eating space junk. You go to your Asda, your Tesco, your Walmart. You go to any of these shops. Now, the shops in Poland are still better, but they're awash with crappy junk, what we call food. It's experiment. It's experiment in plastic packaging. Now, you're eating experiments in plastic packaging every bloody day. And this is what's making your mind... It's foggy. When you wake up, your mind's foggy. Now, I know there's so many people waking up with hangovers today. I know there's people that are waking up, their alarms are going off and they do not want to roll out of bed. And they've got a job, but they don't want to get out of bed. I don't have a job, so maybe that's why I wake up every day and want to get out of bed. This morning I didn't cry. I normally get into my kid's bedroom. I'll go to the end of my daughter's bed and I'll cry like a big girl. And then I'll look at some videos with my daughter and with my son and I together. And that's what parents, good parents, that have had their children taken away from predators need to do. Poland is filled with predators, but the man and woman in Poland, the average man and woman, they protect Poland. They're protecting you from all the illegal immigration. The average man and woman, not the police, not your services, and your government is trying to flood your towns and cities with illegal immigrants, and then they'll gaslight you. Once they've flooded the cities, your towns and cities with illegal immigrants, they'll have people come on here and they'll call them victims. They'll have people come on here and they'll say they're families when it's young men of fighting age. It's young men of fighting age. And it's young men of fighting age because they're going to be turning these men against us. And these men will be fighting us. Now, I have this all the time. People say, who do you think you are? You think you're some big hard man or good fighter? No. I always think of a wee Asian man. And you'll know this picture. The wee Asian man walking the opposite way towards the tank, holding a plastic bag. He's my hero. He's my hero. He didn't have muscles. He didn't have people standing by him. And he didn't have any weapons. He had a plastic bag and his own mindset. He had his own belief. And no one was going to get in his way. And that's how I feel as a father. But there's tens of thousands of governments paid to infiltrate your government, to take over, to stop the safety of children, to stop the rights of family, and to control family violence in your area. Family violence is a disgusting thing that's happening just now. It just means you take out the head person of the family, normally the father. But he's been taken out over the last 30, 40 years. He's either made himself some drunk womanizer, and he takes the blame. It's not women don't drink or cheat. They do it a whole lot more, if not worse, than men. But you can get rid of a man like that, because when a man's drunk, he's incapable of self-control. I'm not even in the car and I'm breaking this phone. He's incapable of self-control. He'll be incapable of looking after himself. Your hair's lovely. I'm going to get to see and speak to a woman that does love me. That when she hugs me, I feel that she cares. And I know that she misses her grandchildren. And she's treated like a criminal just like I am. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on here and listening to this barely understandable screechy Scotsman who would stand by you and your family any day of the week. I'll stick up for you anytime. You might not trust me, I wouldn't harm anything to do with you, whatever you own, whoever you love and care for. I'm here to help fathers and mothers that want to end family violence, and they want to do it in a way where they're united, they're unified. And parental alienation is shown for what it is. It's child abuse. I can't believe we call such severe child abuse like parent alienation. Mothers and fathers split this abuse. Children face it on their own. Does that make sense? Mothers and fathers who are willing to split their children from the other parent, they keep this abuse going. 100% of children, and we call this parental alienation. 100% of children 100% of the time suffer. Not 100% of fathers, not 100% of mothers. In fact, it's the lowest possible percent of mothers, but that doesn't make them any less worthy. But it does show you that about 90% of these women are not motherly, and they're being funded to be violent and keep children away from the father that they love. Instead, they're teaching that they must hate that father, because to love that father is to upset that mother. Every good mother on here understands what I'm speaking about, because they've faced the effeminate man using the very same thing. Or he's a drunken alcoholic beater. But many women are that too. I know that for a fact. And men get laughed at when they get physically assaulted by women. It's all gaslighting when it comes to the abuse men face. It's all gaslighting. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for listening to me. Peter, my friend, I'm coming to see you. Happy birthday today. Darren, thanks for always sticking by me, mate. I know there's an American Brian on there that met us in Romania. And I know there's a Swiss guy on here that tried to steal my money, and I don't have any. Try to commit fraud and get into my bank, you madman. You crazy Swiss man. I've got pictures with you as well. See, we all make mistakes. I won't fall out if you try and do something stupid to me, then you say sorry. I'm not here to hold grudges. And this goes with my ex and her mother. Even though they're forcing my children to say they hate me. And I hate half of who I am. Wow, imagine me having to hate my father while he's 6 foot under. I love you. Take care. Thanks for sticking around. Bye bye.